Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a quick review over today's trades, the upcoming news that are going to affect the upcoming trades. You got your SPY and futures. We're breaking those down. That's the bulk, meat, and potatoes of the video. And then we're going to go into the stocks on the list that I'll be looking for trading tomorrow. But of course, before we get to any of that content, please like and subscribe. I'm making videos every single day, reviewing the market in general. The videos are posted every single day between 6 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Central. Let's get to it. All right, so we're going to start covering exactly what happened today. And today was kind of a jumble. It was a lot of stuff going on right now. So first thing we had was Apple puts. We got in around $1.50, a little bit under. Ended up selling those at $2. They ran a little bit higher, but that's where we got out. It was 30%. Give or take gains there. Really great trade. Next one was SST, got in $1.10 calls, ended up selling those, getting out at around, I believe it was 90 cents right there. So that was a small loss. They ended up running deeper, but I had to cut those. Ended up getting some Dow puts as well in the index, and I ended up cutting those for a small 10% loss as well. So all in all right there, we got about 10%, 15% loss on the SST, and then we had the 30% gain from this morning. And then here came the big boy. We started seeing the market bounce. We got those Amazon calls at around $5.90 a piece. They actually dropped down to $5.20, so people got a little bit better entries. I ended up grabbing actually 4. I ended up averaging down on those. You ran up to $8.70. This was the kicker. These ended up running towards $14 within that hour as well. But that was a move that we got in quick. You can't take and complain. You got a 60-70% move in about 30 minutes. You got to take it. Absolute crushed. And then we entered Oxy at the end of the day, which I'm going to get into in this video. All right, so going into today, you had about 4 or 5 Fed members talking about the Fed minutes. And this was kind of what was pushing the indexes down throughout the morning. So as we come in here, you can see index is just chopping. You found those lows, and we're going to get into this here in a second, but you bounced, obviously. So from that was kind of the bad news. Now going into tomorrow, there's no news. This is the investing.com calendar. It'll tell you the significance of news coming out absolutely free right here. You don't have to make an account. You just go over to news, come down to calendar, boom, there it is every single day for what's going on, and nothing too significant. You got some oil count coming out, Baker Hughes rig counts, but nothing really that big. What I do want to focus on is this right here. Congress just passed a ban on Russian oil and gas imports to the U.S. This was big, and they're sending these over to Biden, and I expect something serious to come out here. That's why I ended up getting those Oxy calls, because I think oil will continue to run, and it just wasn't moving very quickly after the news came out. Now those contracts are already up almost 30%, close to 40% before the market even closed, and those are for next week. So what we're going to do is look at indexes and look at what's really happening here on the market. So we're going to quickly zoom in here and see what's going on. Now, going into today, you had a little bit of downside coming down to that local bottom at about 14.4, roughly down here. Now, what I want to highlight is you're basically bottoming out where the FOMC bottom was, the Fed minutes, not FOMC, the Fed minute bottom was, right? So this was your Fed minutes. You came out, you had a quick little whipsaw to the downside, and then today's low, you had another whipsaw down here, came down, boom, and you popped up. If you come in here where you can really see what's going on, though, you can really see the representation of exactly what's happening. You're seeing a wedge being formed specifically here on the Nasdaq, and you can see it even more on the S&P. So you can see that wedge forming. So you start wedging out here, bottoming out. Now, if you go over to the Dow, this is where things really started to look interesting, because as you take a look at the Dow, things were kind of the opposite. You kind of had a bear flag going on here. And if you're watching the stream earlier, we were actually descending in volume, which typically leads to getting a bear flag pushing you to the downside. So I was waiting patiently, and this is why I had those Dow puts. But you can see Dow mounting over resistance right there. You held, clean bounce, and holding the ADMA, and you ended up shooting back up and never looking back. Every time you touch the ADMA, it was an opportunity to long. And now you're ending the day a little bit down, but overall, you're back above those previous highs you had on the beginning of today, and you almost made new highs from yesterday as well, kind of getting topped out in that range, as you can see right here. So you can see that range right there turned out to be a little bit of a resistance, but so far you are looking good and clean going into tomorrow. So what we're going to do is look at the SPY very quickly and show the significance of what's going on with the market. So you can see that wedge I have pointed out here. You can see you're also double bottoming. This is a much cleaner looking chart. So this is your Fed minutes. When that dropped, you had that quick dip, double bottom here, quick, very simple to see. You can see just how strong that is acting as a support, and then boom, straight trend line to the upside on the 5-minute, holding above the ADMA. If you're not watching the ADMA, you need to be using it, because it's going to help you trade every single day and spotting the trend. Now, what do you have going on here? You ended up filling the gap you had on SPY, making higher highs from yesterday, which is extremely bullish. And now you're treating this as a new support. And this is what I want to look at right here. Yesterday's previous highs, but right here to here, that's your new support level. You can see you came down, wicked, and touched it, mounting that bottom level. And I think you are looking strong. Now, what we're going to do really quick is look at the volume and where hedge funds are buying right now. So this is Bookmap. If you don't know what this is a heat indicator of liquidity. Basically, black means there's no liquidity. Red means there's a lot of liquidity. And you can see the buy orders over here on the side. So yesterday, we know what was the story yesterday. 4,500 was a beast. You couldn't get above it. All day today, all day yesterday, it was rejection, rejection, rejection. But what happened here? You started going parabolic. You started holding above. You shot above, got up to about 4,520, got rejected, pushed back down. You ended the day a little bit lower, but look where buyers ended up on the day. You're seeing those buyers step in, holding that level. They want to keep you above this region now. There's no longer that big of a wall at 4,500. This was about 500 lots earlier. So you're looking for buyers to keep you here. I do believe if you see any type of hold around this region, we're going to see maybe a dip in the after hours, but sparking into about London EU's market open, which is 2-3 a.m. Central. I think you're going to start seeing more upside pushing you back up to these levels on ES. And I think Nasdaq will start carrying you going into tomorrow as well. So I'm very bullish on indexes, and I see a lot of strength across the board. Now, going back to SPY, what is the key thing you can take from this? Again, we expected Fed minutes to not really be that great. We went over what was bad about it. We went over the detrimental news, everything like that. But like I said, the worst thing for the market is uncertainty. The best thing for the market is having certainty. So what you had all day yesterday, the day before that, was downside pressure and not knowing what they were going to say. Yes, you did get some bad news, but you can see buyers stepped in once you got the news because they know what to expect from the market. They're shooting them straight. The Fed isn't holding anything back. You're getting all your questions answered. So as of right now, you have to be a bull. But what I'd be looking for continued upside, one, you want to hold these local highs that you had from yesterday. You need to hold this level of support. And then two, you need to start getting back above the 450.5 region and moving back to that monthly level. If you get back above 453.3, you are back in full bull territory, and you're going to be working your way towards making new local highs and pushing back towards all-time highs. Yes, I am a bull on the market. I will continue to be. When you have key things like Fed minutes and FOMC coming out, you got to be a little bit on guard. Like I was saying, you have to just sit back and wait for it to happen, but you know the bulls are going to continue to step back in, and you can look at this volume that's happening. End of the day, look, you had no volume all day long, low descending volume all day. End of the day, when you started going up, guess what happened? All the bulls came out and everyone was buying. You get a little bit of a dip on the after hours, but sellers couldn't even push you past yesterday's highs. You're still bullish. You want to get a test above 450.5. You get above 453.3. You are in full bull territory, pushing towards new highs. Let's look at some stocks. Now, what I want to do and highlight is I did not trade some of the specific plays I was looking at yesterday, but I was mentioning them all day in Discord, and some people did end up taking those. Like the SST, I took a small loss. This guy ended up holding it a bit longer, made $5,000 in profits. This guy traded Apple calls from the downside. He bought the lows, the double bottom. Guess what happened? He made profit. So you're able to still trade those. This guy traded those Tesla puts, made a bag on those. So you're seeing all the opportunity there. You just got to keep your head on a swivel, watching out. So I'm still using all this data, but that doesn't mean that I'm blindly entering any of these trades right when the market opens, right? I got to see a reaction. It comes back to indexes and where stocks are moving. So going into tomorrow, first thing up, we're going to be looking at Tesla. So Tesla has some pretty big news coming on. If you don't know, they have their Cyber Rodeo or Tesla Rodeo or something going on in Texas today. So they're going to be talking. A lot of anticipation going on into the new Tesla Semi. If they mention the Tesla Semi, I'm a full bull. Now you got a gap going on right now on here, and this is something I will be eyeballing. Now I'm not a full-time gap trader, but what I'm looking for is a retest of this region about 110.87 possibly to about right here. And then you also have the double top range, which I will be looking for sure, of right here. So you have your monthly level right here at about 1079 to 1081, and then also big resistance right here, which is going to be about 1089 to 1087. So I am looking for a bullish case on Tesla, but again, you do have news coming out, so you got to be kind of keeping your head again on a swivel. What you want to hold for is hold that VWAP. You hold VWAP, you stay bullish. You lose VWAP, you get this trade out of your head because you're not going to see any upside. Now, the next trade is going to be NVDA, and this is one of my personal favorites as of lately. And this goes out to shout out Jay Ream. Jay Ream's been loving NVDA. He's my helper in the Discord. We work together, we partner, work hand in hand together, looking at trades all day, every day. So if there's any trade I'm taking, typically Jay Ream has an influence as well, and we're constantly bouncing ideas off each other. Now, what is NVIDIA doing? You're sitting in this downtrend, you're pushing down. You just had a crazy bull run. If you've been following, you know we made a bag to the upside of that 290 test, but you're trading to the downside right now. What's happening? So what you want to see, one, you need to hold that VWAP, of course, but you're seeing sellers step in. The key range that we're watching right now and that Ream has been preaching is this 2046 range right here. You got to get back above this. Once you start mounting this level here, so what you're looking for is some price action to get you back pushing through. You don't just need to break the trend. You got to get back above this level 2046. You get a retest, you're long in there, and you're aiming one for a 252 push, coming back down, possibly even a gap fill as well. This would be about a 2-week trade, but this is still setting up beautifully. And so what you're looking for, again, is a test of that region. You'd be having your stop somewhere near the inside of that push back down to 243, 242-ish, and you're targeting upside to 252 and then upside up to about 260 locally as well. Okay, so what we're looking at is Apple, my last play of the day, last thing I'm going to be looking at. And this thing's looking like a tank. Looking at what's happening here, one, you're targeting a push back to this. You have a monthly, a weekly, and then a gap fill up here as well. So what we're going to be looking at is a very conservative level of one. There's about 174 touch here, and then you have your second take profit around this region up here as well. And that's what I'd be looking for. Honestly, I'd like it out of the gate. If it holds VWAP coming out, I'm extremely bullish on this. You want to start pushing right back up there. Now, again, if you followed my 8 EMA strategy, it's just a quick indicator of how to know when to get in, when there's momentum, things like that. You'd prefer to wait till you start to mount that 8 EMA, right? So that's what you want to see on the 5-minute. You would like to see a mount back above the 8 EMA. So let's say you come out tomorrow and you're trending a little bit, to the downside like this. You would want to wait until you got back above that level and then start getting in there and then start targeting obviously the upside push. That's what you'd be looking for. So obviously move those about to there and have your stop set. You do not want to break and hold below VWAP on a 5-minute. That'd be detrimental for this play. But I think Apple definitely has upside up to 174 tomorrow. Buyers are stepping in. But again, before we even go any further, before I get you or let you guys leave, you need to be watching. Nasdaq and futures have got to stay strong. That is the catalyst of this video. Nasdaq and futures are your friend. They got to stay strong. If they don't stay strong, what will happen? You will drop and you will follow them. They are the bread and butter. If you don't know how to trade them, if you don't know how to follow the Nasdaq, the SPY, ES, then you're going to get hurt. That's the basis of this channel, and that's how you day trade, is knowing what futures are going to do. So make sure you're spending the time to educate yourself on those. More videos are coming, more content is coming every single day, 6 to 7 p.m. Central. I'm giving you the updates on how I'm viewing the market. Like, subscribe, do what you guys do. Remember, we run the market.